It was not.
It's almost there. All right. So, their problem. Yeah. So it's showing on YouTube.
Okay. It's showing a Zoom.
That meeting tomorrow.
You got this pretty thing.
Look at all the papers I have out.
Okay, so we're good. Are we good with that? Okay.
I think so.
Okay, it is 4 o'clock. It's always moving to order. Please stand and pray. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
Nation.
Okay, the first thing is the January 24th council meeting minutes. We all have a copy. Hopefully we've had time to read them. And then, so if there's no additions or changes, I would entertain a motion to approve these minutes.
So make a motion to approve the council meeting minutes from January 24th of 23.
And a second,
I second the motion to approve the council meeting minutes.
okay. All in favor of approving the minutes?
I
Opposed? Approved. No, approved. Then we have for new business, pay the bills. Rob Gaslin is not here. And he didn't do a total financial for us, so all we have right now is the bill to be paid. We don't have a balance or anything because the lady center couldn't run a regular report. The big thing, Thomas, is our heating bill is quite high. The pot is pretty cold, it's $3,100. And then we have Eastern Oregon Rentals. I don't know if anybody's there aware, but we had some freeze ups. So we went down and rented a desal, commercial type desal, to get the pipes thawed out. So, and we had to get some concrete blankets. So the bill is $13,600. Hey, that hurts. And I don't know if you all got this, but the bill, the huge bill was only $200. There's a correction on that. Levi's is $1,600 because he put bills in for 2 months and he was behind. Stage Stock had a lot of fuel because of plowing. And we had a $1,700 bill for the shop garage door, where we replaced the remote and put a chain pull on the door so we can get it open. And then I guess, Rob's not here to answer any questions. So if you guys have any questions?
The only thing that I wanted to say is on Eastern Oregon Rentals on this heater, I want to make a note that this heater is a minimum of a 5-day rental. And then on top of that, if you run it for more than 8 hours a day, we pay for that. So we were running it 24 hours a day. So that's as the same as a 2-day rental. That's the reason why it's gone. Because otherwise we would have had the thing for 2 weeks instead of for 1.
Okay, any other questions? Do I have a motion to?
Are we wanting to work, we fix this Hughes thing, right?
That's what I said, yeah.
Okay.
I make a motion to pay the bills as presented with the correction of, Hughes Inc. being paid $200, not what's stated on the paper.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I second the motion to pay the bills with the correction for Hughes as stated.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We will pay the bills. And then Rob will have a full financial on the 28th, the LGIP information and everything. Okay, the next thing was, we have an account with Amazon, and there's always a lot of small things that we purchase through there. And we've always given the city recorder a limit or an amount they can use to, charge without going through council. The small thing, it's toilet paper, little items the guys need, little parts and stuff, it's all receipted. So what limit do we want to put on that?
Do you have an average?
I can't remember if it was 200 or 300 that we,
If I remember right, it was $200 for what we had.
we okayed Renee on, and this is, for office supplies or, small things that we need, that's all they can spend at one time without coming to council. And generally, they let us know, one of us anyway, what they have to order.
Of course, there is times because the last council approved me to spend up to $2,000 at one time, so we didn't have to come to council. And there's been times that I've had to okay Renee to order the paper towel stuff for like flea market and things like this, instead of coming to a council and providing this.
So we haven't yet to approve you for the 2,000 to approve, any spending that we need done without coming to council.
Yeah, we should, we should, yeah.
Well, don't you use that a lot for parts for the guys, when they need parts and everything?
Yeah, when they need parts like for the grader, for parts that typically the guys do not have to have. Something's broken and we gotta fix it, flat tires on trucks, hoses, cylinders.
Why, yeah, they've done the plumbing replacements that they needed to place on there, so. If it's okay, I'll make the motion to, okay Charlie to authorize up to $2,000 and for Matt, the city recorder, to spend up to $200 without coming to council. But you can, transfer that to Matt if you need to order stuff.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, then Marcia's been working on short-term rentals. We had a public meeting for input last week. So, and she's been doing some more research, so do you want to give us an update or?
Probably will have another public meeting because there was quite a few people that say they don't read the notices at the post office, so kind of another way, excuse me, of getting the news out. We were going to come up with some conditional uses, and I'm still waiting for Paige. She's been really busy to give me a list of them. But I've been looking at other cities, and I think we might be able to bypass the conditional uses just with the application process alone. Just going through what cities are doing is they have to bring us a site plan of their property, and this of course will get discussed and we'll review it tomorrow at our meeting. So if anybody wants to come to the workshop tomorrow at 10 and here, please do so. But the application process would, from what I've been reading, what other cities have been doing, a site plan, they have to show on the site plan where the parking is. It's 1 car per bedroom. They have to have it inspected by the county to make sure that the structure is safe enough for people to come in and rent. They have to have postings on the door. They have to notify the neighborhood. They have to show where all the fire detectors are. The fire marshal has to check the building to make sure that there is egress in the downstairs bedroom, that they have the proper fire evacuation. So just the process alone, contacting the neighbors and having public hearings on that eliminates a lot of the conditional uses. And that even goes for the CR zone and the IR zone where they are permitted because they are businesses. It's just more of a structural thing, and they are requiring them to carry the proper insurance, liability insurance. So it's amazing. I mean, I went through 6 different cities of different populations, and they're pretty much all following this form. So it's kind of interesting. It's a way of protecting the city. It's a way of protecting the owner, and it's a way of protecting the people who are renting. And they have to show proof every year that they are paying their transit room tax to the city, because it will be conditional yearly use. So it's just something we'll be working on. Have another public meeting that has to come to council when we get it all done, sent to the attorney to get an amended emergency ordinance on STRs, short-term rentals.
And just so everybody understands, we're not banning them, we need to control what they're doing within the city, that they're legal and that they're paying their taxes. It's not we're not trying to get rid of them, we're just trying to cover everybody.
It's a combination. You have to make it work in the residential zone to protect the livability of the residents that are already here. So, you know, I mean, you just can't have 6 blocks that are nothing but short-term rentals with, you know, a full-time person living here, like have a motel around them. So it's a balance, to get a balance for the city, because this is a destination. And there are some populations that don't prefer one over the other. Some of them like to rent full houses instead of staying in a motel. So it's just trying to find a balance. We are not banning them by no means. Just trying to find a balance and have some rules set forward.
So people need to take an interest and show up to a meeting.
Yeah, I've been talking to several residents trying to get feedback
Mhm.
on what they think about it and stuff.
This is their,
Don't come to the meetings and stuff. And so far, the feedback, because of all the restrictions that they put in place, and that so far the feedback I'm been getting has been very positive.
Everybody loves rules.
Yeah.
okay, so Marcia, it's ongoing for Marcia, so please give her any input.
Yeah, come to the meetings. Be tomorrow at 10, or we post them. I try to post them a couple days ahead of time. This time it didn't quite get there, but yeah, tomorrow at 10 in here, and hopefully once a week until we get this done.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is flea markets, that time of year.
Yeah.
I know. John, what are the volunteers looking at the flea markets?
Well, I understand the last meeting when I was in sunny California, council decided they didn't want to do the 4th of July flea market again. So I talked with the merchants, the volunteers and the merchants will do exactly what we did last year. We'll take care of it. Of course, I need to ask council, can we use the delineators and the trash can? Get your permission on that. Other than that, we are doing our best to avoid any confusion. So anything that the city puts out, I want to suggest that there will be a flea market, the city is not hosting the 4th of July flea market because they read the first line and boom, there's no flea market. We know that happened last year. So anything the city puts out, please say there will be a flea market, 4th of July, contact so-and-so, or it will be run by the volunteers and the merchants like last year.
Well, I kind of
So I have
talked,
positive feedback.
I did talk to Nancy about it a little bit, and so now that we know you're actually going to do it.
Yep.
We can put it on the website that the 4th of July flea market will be hosted by the volunteers and the businesses, and to contact Nancy.
Exactly.
We'll just put
Because
it right out there.
my fear is, because I talked to a bunch of vendors at Memorial Day, the rumor had already gone out, and you know this, no 4th of July flea market. The city finally got rid of it like they've been wanting to. And we had vendors, if they'd known there was going to be something, they would have been here. but they looked somewhere else because they heard the negative stuff.
And you do know that it was one of the volunteers who put that out on Facebook, but there
Well,
was no, so,
well, no, it was someone,
yeah.
someone else.
Well, no,
Okay.
there was, but
Yeah.
one of your volunteers did put something very negative on Facebook about it.
Well,
And, cause I asked them to rescind it and they didn't. But no, we're gonna have Matt just put it right
Yeah.
out there to contact Nancy
Contact
as
Nancy.
the coordinator.
I gave her the list of the downtown merchants that
Mhm.
wanted to accept vendors. I gave that list to Matt and Nancy. And I'm going to, I've talked to a couple other people, keep that date or that list updated so that we have an accurate listing as we go through the year. We also have Ron is taking over maybe that's not the proper word, but is working with a Skype, what's it called? MailChimp?
MailChimp, you
To
made a
notify every
MailChimp
vendor we
account.
can get name of, and, we'll be adding to that list to let them know what's going on all three flea markets, not just the one. We want to push all three flea markets.
Now,
So,
Okay, sure.
for clarification, Nancy said that she had given you the letter that she proposed.
mhm.
Okay, so
Mhm.
just for clarification, the city is going to publish a memo out to
We're-
the email list
Well,
for,
we're publishing, it's a letter, I do not have it done completed yet because I've been going other directions, but it's going to set out, we're doing this and that 4th of July, contact Nancy, and Nancy's name again will be in there. And then caution them again about summer, bring your own water because we have a tendency to be water. So it's just basically going to be her, it's just going to be more specific of who to contact for what.
but I just wanted, so John had the clarity.
Yeah,
The city is actually going to send something out
right, yeah.
for the Memorial Day, so the volunteers won't need to do that, so.
I'm working with Nancy
Right.
on that, yeah, I'm heading working. So I guess the other question is what's the city wanting to do for Memorial Day and Labor Day? Matt has agreed to, take the vendors' money and applications, Thursday and Friday. We'll probably have him up there, I don't know, Nancy at some point said she was retiring.
At some point, I spoke with her yesterday to confirm, and at this time, Nancy and I will be up there handling vendors and parking them if that's what council wants. And under the same terms we've had for the last couple of years. We'd like a raise, but we understand.
Well,
But, if that's what the city wants, Nancy and I are available to park vendors, handle it with Matt there and to handle the politics and all that stuff, that works fine.
I guess that's something we have to decide what, because right now, that's, all you guys are really is on Wednesday, you're parking the vendors, you're marking spots, parking the vendors, and Nancy's there just to show them where to go. Last year, we did all the cleaning of the restrooms and took care of all that, so, we're gonna have to decide how we're going to handle that and what we want to do this year. If we're gonna hire somebody just to do that part or what.
I have a small objection to our two utility workers having to work on the holidays. So, and I know we were gonna kind of split them up, like one would help work with a part-time employee on one holiday, and the other one would work the other holiday. I would prefer to hire somebody to clean the bathrooms so that, our guys wouldn't have to do it because they're getting paid overtime to do it and it's their time off. So it balances out money-wise if you can hire a part-time person to go in and clean the bathrooms and help one of the guys to, who's ever worked in that particular flea market, do the garbages and stuff. That way they have a holiday, because right now, they don't. have a
I
holiday.
suggest you get the word out early, and we could start asking around, there's a couple of people.
Well, this
we
is
can
why
ask.
we're talking about it now, John, because we do have somebody that might have
Okay.
helped last year. And yeah, Jeff
Yeah.
worked Memorial Day, and Tim worked Labor Day,
Mhm.
and then we had a helper for that.
They have a right to have a holiday too, a 3-day holiday and enjoy things, so, if we can split it up and get some help for them, it balances out money wise.
Well, yeah, okay, so we need to work on that plan, so this won't be the last time we're discussing flea market. Hey, Charlie, anybody else? Okay,
No,
Okay,
because
Joe.
I think I'm in agreement too, that, you know, it's not that the guys need time off, but you need to get,
well,
because of the overtime and everything that we have to pay, so we should be getting somebody to help do the cleaning and the trash and.
okay.
No, they get time off. We should have a 3-day holiday. That's when families come up.
So,
So
they
they
will.
deserve that.
So, okay, John, and I'll get with Nancy,
Okay,
and you, okay?
Think so?
No,
No?
Okay, that's, old business is, we're still on the office keypads, keyless entries. So Matt did some more research, basically anything that's in the 120 does not track who's coming in and out. So is that the consensus you want it to track who's in?
I want to know who's coming in and out and the time frame that they're coming in and out of the city, so.
Yeah,
So
because
then-
I think what we did is we did the timeframe of who's in and out. Also, those codes which are trackable,
Yeah.
plus we want a key entry.
Yeah, key entry, well, we share key entries, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have to bump it up a little bit, so we'll table this and we're gonna go for a little more expensive.
Did we find anybody, because I know Jenny Long offered to, donate those cameras to us,
Yeah,
so we
get
just
hold of
have
her.
to get a hold of somebody to install them. Do we have to put that out on our fee to get a bid for somebody to? Yeah, well, we only have the $350 grant, so,
Yeah, I'll check with Jenny, I need to hold her on that.
so we have to find somebody that can install.
Cause we have cameras here to put up too.
Yeah, and those were hardware too.
Yeah, those are hardwired, so that was gonna be down to the shop so they can record,
Right.
so I need to get with her.
The thing is, well, I'm not sure if Jane's just giving us the cameras or if she's giving you the recording equipment too, because otherwise we gotta get that.
Well, yeah, that's what I said, we'll have to do
So
that.
we need to find out what
Yeah.
is being donated to the city.
I think it's all one,
I think it was all
one system, yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't,
I know she said the cameras.
yeah, she just said we need to get somebody to hardwire it, so I will get with her on that before next meeting. And,
Actually, a lot of, like our camera system, it's not a device that it's recorded to, it's a software program,
yeah,
and you pay a monthly subscription for it. So that's probably what she's doing is has extra cameras that would be tied into her current software systems. We would just have to,
the problem is we don't have much down there in the shop.
you said
There's
for
no
Wi-Fi.
signals, there's no, yeah. A little different situation. Okay, and then the other thing is the museum contract. I found an older one. What we're gonna do is right now we have a memorandum of understanding between the museum and the Baker County Library. I don't know why the two of them are together, but we're gonna split them off to where we have one contract with the Baker Library, and we'll actually have a contract with the museum. We do not have a financial yet from Tony. She did approach me and she asked to be on the agenda for the next meeting on the 28th. So we're still on a holding pattern for that. I will try to get these two contracts split and off to you guys before the 28th. So you can look and see what you think about it.
Yeah, legal suggested we do a contract
over a
instead of an MOU, between the split of them, so it'll be a better deal.
And that's all I have on my list. So council comments. Daryl, you guys, you want to bring up?
oh, no, not really. I was just a little concerned with the museum and the snow removal on the roof. I think that we need to look at some way of a grant application or something to put a permanent stairs on the south side of the building. Kind of like maybe a like they have with the fire escape situation where you pull the ladder down and you can go on up. Something that's a lot more safety conscious than just the ladder up on the side of the building. I can see that being a real safety issue.
Years, yeah.
And by putting it on the south side where the sun would hit it all the time, it's pretty well thought out.
You can lock those too. So
Yeah,
they
you can
won't
lock,
lock, so
right.
they don't pull down.
But that way it would give people much easier access to that roof for winter snow removal.
They can get a hold of to do that. Mm.
Okay, so we need to get a price on that and see what we need to get from them.
Is this something that you need to?
That might be something, I don't know if the room tax would do something like that, or not, since the museum is a nonprofit. That might be something. that
If we had control of our transient room tax,
No, but I mean, that's something that we can look into with them and see
With
if
them.
that might,
They probably wouldn't, because it's pretty much so earmarked for promoting tourism. And even though the
And sign on
museum.
and sign on it.
could you break that down? Because, our attorney also does the search and rescue, in Wallow, is it, down in the Joe
Yeah,
Enterprise?
they get stuff.
And their transient room tax gets split. A huge portion goes to the hospital, a portion goes to, search and rescue,
Yeah.
and a portion goes to the landfill. So anything that is tourist related that comes into a city that is gonna put, stress on any of the infrastructure, they get part of that, transient room tax.
I think, and I'm not positive, and I can ask my meeting Thursday, I think some of it does go to economic development that is related to indirectly to tourism, is my understanding. So, I mean,
Well,
but I can
big
ask
portion
her
of
what,
it.
I can ask what the breakdown is of the funds that are collected.
Yeah, a big portion of it, she said they have plenty of money for the search and rescue, and it's all from the transient room tax. They have an
In
abundance.
Peachmaker,
Um,
I think we'll allow.
yeah, and that's what she said it's all for, is to be split that way, so I'm kind of hoping ours goes that way too. Cause that's an influx on Baker County, it's a big county, to have every small town pull their transient room tax just for promotion.
Yeah,
You know, so it has to be split up, and I do have a list, I think, are you done with that list on the STRs that we have in town, that you can give to Shelley so that she can look over who is actually in town and if they're paying.
okay. Yeah, I can get that. to
I mean, we
her.
get a total, she can't break it down to us, but at least she can look at it and tell us the total that they're paying.
And then Daryl, were you thinking of an enclosed ladder, or were you thinking of regular stairs?
Just a open steel framed, ladders or stair system, not a ladder, but a
Fire
stair
escape.
system. Kind of similar to what you have on a fire escape on a building.
Okay.
Now you can see them on the, they have the steel fire escapes on the side of the building. And
Yeah, usually the first pull down is a ladder, and then you get up to the landing, then it's a staircase after that.
Right, could be done either way.
On that building there though, it would probably be cheaper and easier just to make a single, just
Flight of stairs.
just a flight of stairs from
Right.
one end to the other.
Well, you have to break in the middle of the landing down by a code, but other than that,
I don't think so.
yeah. Can't have more than can't be, well, now you can't even have a 8-foot stairs, it has to be broken at 4 feet.
I'll have to look into
Yeah,
it.
because of the falling down the stairs, they want the building fall so far. They have to break.
Yeah, because on a commercial building, see, that's gonna make your landing really big because it's 40 inches.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you know, I was just told that from the building department, because we were going out for commercial building and talking about, he's been telling everybody, you gotta have a 30 by 30 or 36 by 36. And it's not true, it's gotta be 40, 42 or 44. Because I found that out when I was asking, we're gonna get, Violet and Hughes to come over and look at the shop about putting that man door in, which has gotta have the 2 landings. That's how I found that out.
So I was looking at that. The other thing, you guys, if you tell, have a copy of this, it's from OCHA. And they formatted this letter for us, I guess they're sending it out to everybody. They're applying for federal funding. And they're asking for all the city's support on this. And supposedly there is no cost to us, which they're doing all the legwork, and all they needed from us was a battery storage area. Right, Marsha? Marshall called them and made sure there was no cost, because it's like everything else, people want our support, but it's gonna come back and cost us money. And they said no. So I didn't want you guys to look at that and see if you want me to go ahead and sign this and send it on to them, and support them in this matter, or. They wrote the letter up.
Linda, is that the battery power backup they were talking about? OTEC guy called me last week.
It's a bipartisan infrastructure law, grid resilience and innovation partnership.
Okay. He called me last week, I referred him to you, the office,
Okay,
told him to call the office.
okay.
He was talking about battery backup systems
That's what,
for, okay,
yeah, that's what it is. It's a battery backup system. But they asked us to find a place to store the batteries.
Yeah, it's just a place to store the batteries and what they're, and this is a long shot because they had a short time frame to find out about it and to do it. So it's a long shot, but they would put our Main Street State Highway power lines underground and then provide battery backups for here. And at the time, he said that they would run it up to the water tower, but we are getting that generator, is that correct? Up there, so we wouldn't need it to go to the water tower, but it would supply all the businesses and stuff, with the battery backup power if the power went out. But it is a long shot, but
yeah.
And
I
it'll
suggest
be a
that
couple
the
years.
QRU building, because
Well,
we
right
should
now,
get to our ambulance,
yeah,
which we get into.
right now, it's, they're looking at a year or 2 years out, so,
Yeah.
who knows? But I just want to know if you guys are okay with going forward with this.
and if you choose to do that and sign it, then I think Matt, you know how to contact him because he has to have it tomorrow. He said you were aware of that.
Do I have a motion to go ahead and support them in their grant application?
I want to make a motion to go ahead and support OTEC on their grant application for the bipartisan infrastructure law bill, the grid resilience and innovation partnerships. That's long.
Okay, do I have a second? All in favor? All opposed? Okay, I'll get with that tonight and I'll get this signed so we can do that. I know, they're letting you use big words in this grant.
Get half of it.
Marcia, did you have anything else?
I thought I did.
I'll come back to you. Charlie? You have to remember.
You can't remember.
No. Okay. Okay, public comment.
Would council like a short fire department report, or,
You can, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I just saw Kurt. Yeah, go ahead. Kurt, what you
Okay.
gonna go ahead.
well, basically, right now, we're doing medical training because it's not a good time to get the trucks out, it's kind of slick and everything. So we've been doing refreshers on splints, on vacuum splints, on the tourniquets and all that kind of stuff. I found some old videos that I played for the other guys the other night, and then I put out a whole bunch of gear and let them play with it, because we need to refresh ourselves. I think next meeting out, unless Kurt's got something, we're gonna mess with all the vacuum splints we've got. We need to get refreshed on those.
Okay, cool, thank you.
You can practice on now.
He's the only substitute for a kid we've got.
So if there's nothing else, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? All opposed? Thank you.
And it's full rush.
It's 4:34. Very good.
Okay, Marcia, you want the breakdown from Shelley of what the Baker County tax is allocated out to great.
Yeah, because I was really surprised when,
Yeah. So,